Simply put, FTD is a quiet thief cruelly moving through California families. It's a terminal and incurable neurodegenerative disease causing impairments to speech, personality, behavior, and motor skills. And imagine what this bill could do to the disease with the informed attention of our biotech expertise in California. Adding FTD to the registry will provide a deeper understanding of the patient population, which will help inform doctors, caregivers, and patients of clinical trials, a critical tool for those dealing with this or any other disease. This bill will help speed research into causes, help with treatment paths, and hopefully, one day, find a cure for FTD.
I'm proud to co-author this bill, a critical measure that will help accelerate cutting-edge research into this terrible disease. This disease impacts countless individuals and families. As with so many complex neurological diseases, more action is needed to better understand its causes, improve treatment options, and ultimately find a cure. And in California, we know we must do more. This bill leverages California's world-class research and medical community to ensure that we do everything we can to close this gap and ultimately find a cure.
And I just want to start today with a question for all of you. What if something was wrong with someone that you love very dearly and you couldn't figure out what it was? What if they gradually lost the ability to speak or understand words? What if they suddenly began acting completely out of character? Or what if they began struggling to move and no doctor could tell you why? Well, unfortunately for many California families, those are not hypothetical questions. They're the reality of a long, frustrating road toward a diagnosis of FTD, which is a group of brain disorders caused by damage and loss of nerve cells in the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain, driving progressive shifts in behavior, communication, and movement.
My husband Bruce was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, or FTD. FTD is the most common form of dementia for people under the age of 60, which means it's taking people in the prime of their lives. The ripple effects on families are profound, emotionally, physically, and financially. And despite that, there are still no approved treatments to slow or stop the disease, and there's definitely no cure. This is a devastating and brutal pill to swallow. But what makes it even harder to accept is that Bruce's diagnosis, like every diagnosis in California, simply just disappears. It isn't tracked, it isn't counted. Unlike ALS, unlike Alzheimer's, FTD leaves no trace in our public health data. Right now, even the leading FTD researchers in this country cannot tell you how many people are diagnosed with this disease. AFTD is working tirelessly to improve diagnosis and capture data in the FTD Disorders Registry. And as vital as the AFTD's work is, one advocacy organization cannot do what a state healthcare system can. For most people, FTD is sporadic, which means it comes out of nowhere. But a small percentage of FTD cases have an inherited genetic cause. And this is important. While there are key differences between the diseases and the cause of dementia, there are also similarities. Research focused on genetic FTD offers great hope for finding treatments. What we learn from one can be the key to treating another, like ALS or Alzheimer's. But this can only happen when people with FTD are diagnosed and counted, and we know the true scale of how many people are affected. California is the most populous state in our country. If we add FTD to the Neurodegenerative Disease Registry, we don't just count California patients, we build a data set that biotech researchers here in California need to find treatments and a cure. And I urge the Assembly and Governor Newsom to support SB 1047. Please see our loved ones. Please count them. Don't let them disappear.
Yes, Mrs. Willis, could you tell us how your husband is doing?
I think that he's doing as well as he can with a very unkind disease.